This semester, I will be discussing the basic electronics. The first unit of this is transients and DC networks. Here we are going to study the response of a capacitor or an inductor or both connected together in the first chapter, and then in the second chapter we study different combination of resistors and batteries what what are formed as networks of networks, you can just say, or network of resistors and batteries. So as a result of multiple resistors and batteries, the resultant voltages across the resistors and the currents in the circuit will be different from that of a simple circuit. Let us begin with the response of a capacitor to a DC voltage. The circuit is as shown here. It consists of a resistor, a capacitor, and a battery. Resistor R, capacitor C, and battery E. Initially, to see the growth of charge on the capacitor plates, we have to close the gap 1. So let us say you close the gap 1 at t is equal to 0, close gap 1 or G1. Then the current starts flowing in the circuit. Let us say that at any instant of time, Q be the charge on the plates of the capacitor and I be the current. I be the current in the circuit at any time t. At t. Then the difference across the capacitor, potential difference across the capacitor will be, can you guess how much it is? It will be given by V is equal to Q by C, where Q is the charge stored on the capacitor and C is the capacity of the capacitor. As the capacitor gets charged, the voltage across the capacitor also increases, and this is measured making use of a voltmeter connected to either side of the capacitor's plates. So now let us apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to the circuit. So the voltage across the capacitors is Q by C, plus the voltage across the resistor is R into I, and that should be equal to the applied voltage E. Okay, so, or in other words, we can write Q by C plus Ri minus E is equal to 0. Both are fine. So we consider the first equation as equation 1. We know that current is nothing but rate of change of charge. dq by dt is current. Substituting this in equation 1, we get q by c plus r into dq by dt is equal to E. Okay. Let us rewrite this equation. So that R into dq by dt is equal to E minus q by c, or dq by dt is equal to E by R minus q by RC. Rearranging the terms, on the right side we get dq by dt is equal to EC minus q by RC. So now I bring EC minus Q here under dq. So dq by EC minus Q is equal to dt by RC. So this is the instantaneous change in the circuit or instantaneous change of charges across the capacitor in a time dt. So dq amount of charge is added to the plates of the capacitor in time dt. Now to find out what happens over a period of t, we have to integrate this. So integrating this from 0 to t, let us say the total charge on the plates of the capacitor is q by the time t, then we just integrate them, and what we get on integrating is log EC minus Q. You must be familiar with integration of 1 by x, which is log x is equal to T by RC plus the constant of integration. Okay. Now we have to put the initial conditions. So we knew that at t is equal to 0, Q was 0. So that implies C is equal to, sorry, there was a minus sign. C is equal to log EC minus log EC. Substituting this in the equation, we get minus log EC minus Q is equal to T by RC minus log EC. Bringing that the term on the right hand side to the left hand side, what we get is log EC minus Q by EC is equal to T by RC, or log EC minus Q by EC is equal to minus T by RC. Again, taking the exponential, you get EC minus Q by EC is equal to e to the power minus T by RC. The opposite of logarithm is the exponential function. So when logarithm crosses the equal sign, it becomes exponential. So that is EC minus Q is equal to EC into e to the power minus T by RC. So from this we get Q is equal to EC into 1 minus e to the power minus T by RC minus T by RC, and this is the equation for the growth of charge on the plates of the capacitor. This can also be written as Q is equal to Q naught into 1 minus e to the power minus T by RC, where Q naught is the maximum charge that will be stored after charging it for a sufficiently long period, or maximum charge on C. So you can call that. So that is the derivation, and then there is just one more thing that we have to know about this is the time constant. There is what is known as time constant of a CR circuit. You can see from the equation that Q is equal to Q naught into 1 minus e to the power minus t by RC, right? So when t is equal to RC, Q is becomes Q naught into 1 minus e to the power minus 1 or 1 minus 1 by e, which is 0.63 times Q naught. Here t usually tau symbol is used for time constant. Tau is equal to RC is the time constant. Is the time constant of the CR circuit. So you can note that it depends only on the resistance and capacitance in the circuit. So only those two terms or components decide the time taken by the capacitor to charge from 0 to any value. So with that, we conclude this topic of growth of charge on the plates of a capacitor.